my God, why have you forsaken me?" Some of Jesus' very last words from the cross. But Jesus knew all along how this was all going to go. He even prophesied about his resurrection. Did Jesus lose his mind on the cross? Why would he say that? See, when Jesus says, my God, why have you forsaken me?" as he's hanging on the cross, he's actually quoting Psalm 22. That's exactly how Psalm 22 starts. My God, why have you forsaken me? Why are you so far from saving me, from the words of my groaning? Oh my God, I cry by day, but you do not answer, and by night, and I find no rest. That must have been how Jesus was feeling on the cross. Totally forsaken, abandoned by many, almost all of his closest friends. Only John, the disciple, and a couple of the women, his mother being one of them, were there at the foot of the cross. But to be so beaten and torn apart and vulnerable and dying in front of his own mother, it must have been the most excruciating thing possible. And we may just chalk it up to, oh, well, Jesus was feeling some type of way, but I think there's something far deeper going on here. Because everything Jesus did had this deep and powerful intention to it. And so when Jesus says, my God, why have you forsaken me?" he has chosen a particular psalm to quote. And as we dive back into that psalm, if I'd have continued reading, a different picture is painted. Listen to this. "Yet you are holy, enthroned on the praises of Israel. In you our fathers trusted. They trusted, and you delivered them. To you they cried and were rescued. In you they trusted and were not put to shame." Jesus, in his moment of sheer pain and total beaten, broken, he is completely alone. It's his moment of most dire need. That moment, he chooses to quote for us a psalm that starts where he is, in the darkest valley, but starts to show us how the light is coming. Jesus is trying to get us to realize through those words that the words of Psalm 22 are real. That when we feel alone, when we're anxious, when we're depressed, when it feels like there is no light at the end of this tunnel that we call life, there is. Our present circumstance does not get to tell us something about God's infinite, consistent character. Hebrews tells us that Jesus is the same yesterday, today, and forever. And so it's not that Jesus has lost his mind on the cross. It's actually that Jesus is trying to get us to see this eternal vision that our current circumstance does not hold a candle to the future hope that we have. Because the resurrection is coming, and the story didn't end at the cross. The cross is empty, and so is the tomb, so that you and I would have full conviction and trust that God is who he says he is. And our circumstances don't get to tell us who God is. So no matter where you are, if you're feeling lonely, alone, if you're feeling abandoned, forsaken, spend some time in Psalm 22. It begins right there in that moment, but it ends in sheer joy in the presence of the Lord. And if you're struggling to feel that even after you read the end of the psalm, go spend some time in faithful Christian community who can rally around you and bear with you, and bear your burdens, and be the hands and feet of Jesus in your life. You are not alone. Don't let it be so. Jesus is with you.